Rock11 Now goes behind the scenes with the Rockville City Police Department as they continue their efforts of community policing, protecting, and serving Rockville. Plus, Metro's Safe Surge hits the red line, and your daily commute will be affected. Rock11 has what you need to know before you go. And it's been a scorcher this summer. We'll tell you where you can cool off. All this and much more on the August edition of Rock11 Now. Hey everyone, I'm Willie James Zimmerman, your host for Rock11 Now. There's a lot going on in Rockville, so let's get into it. In light of recent events around the country, the Rockville City Police Department wants you to know its officers are here to protect and serve the community. So I went behind the scenes to show you just how community policing and perception are goals of the RCPD. Rockville, rest assured that the Rockville City Police Department is here to help. Officers take part in a dynamic training process that prepares them for real-world situations.
During in-service training and also during entry-level training, they do receive training on anti-bias policing, have training on de-escalation tactics, on defensive tactics, so hopefully we don't have to use deadly force.
In addition to training, Corporal Philip Liu, a 17-year veteran of the RCPD, added that community policing is an important part of his work as a police officer.
I have a personal relationship with most of the community around here. They are very comfortable with telling me what's going on, as versus you have other communities where there's police officers that just sit in a car and they're not open or up front, or they don't have a first name basis with the community. Most of our officers grew up in the area. We're basically from the community also. We're the people that grew up with you, so we understand the way things work here.
Recent events around the country spurred an outpouring of support for the RCPD. Chief Rappaport says that he's thankful for the support and encourages residents to help out.
Get involved, to get involved with their faith-based community, to get involved with national organizations, whether it's NAACP or other organizations, and have a voice in their community.
For more information on how to get involved, head over to rockvillemd.gov/police. And there will be more officers joining the Rockville City Police in their constant efforts to protect and serve. Rock11 Now's Tony Playa introduces us to two new officers on the force.
If you will raise your right hand and swear after me. So, I, Nicholas D. Weiss.
Last month, Rockville City Police Department swore in two new officers at City Hall.
It feels amazing to actually be able to police in the community that I grew up in. I'm from Montgomery County. I'd say it's extremely important just to build a trust and to do as much community policing as possible.
I've been working my whole life for this point, went to school for this, finally get the opportunity, it's overwhelming, but it's a good feeling.
And I'm very honored to be able to bring on my first two new hires today and swear them in as police officers. These two officers come to us with prior experience from other agencies, and they'll be a welcome to our agency and our patrol staffing.
With the addition of the two new officers, the Rockville City Police Department's Field Services Bureau is fully staffed at 58 sworn officers.
Last month, the county's 911 system went down for about 2 hours. Now we're told that the 911 call center problem has been fixed and is working. Some of you may not know that Rockville has its own police dispatch that is available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Rock11 wants to give you some news that you can use just in case there's ever another service interruption. You can call the Rockville City Police Department directly at 240-314-8900. Or you can call your local fire station. To find out the closest one near you, head over to montgomerycountymd.gov, click on Government, then the Public Safety tab to check out the Montgomery County Fire Department and Rescue page. On the way on Rock11 Now, your stormwater utility fee will be slightly higher, but that money is being put to good use. Find out how in our in-depth look at the 3 major restoration projects. That's coming up next. And later, we're going to tell you where you can go to cool off on these hot summer days. It's all coming right your way right after this. Welcome back to Rock 11 Now. Next year's increase of Rockville's stormwater utility fee is going towards the restoration of the stormwater system. Now, what does all that mean? Rock 11 Now's Tony Playa explains.
Stormwater utility fees went up in July of 2016, but that extra money is going to help treat and maintain stormwater runoff.
Our stormwater program here in the city of Rockville is very extensive. The stormwater utility fee that every resident and business pays, as well as all nonprofit and even our city properties, pay into our stormwater fee. It's used for multiple things. One of the things is to maintain and inspect over 800 stormwater management facilities.
And it all begins with 3 major restoration projects at Dogwood Stream, Upper Watts Branch Forest Preserve, and Watkins Pond.
And what this facility does is it captures all of the runoff from about 300 acres of the community, and roughly 170 acres of that is impervious area, which is the pavement, the roofs, and so on and so forth. And all of that water which runs off of the pavement carries sediment and pollutants like nitrogen and phosphorus, and it all gets concentrated here in the ponds. So one of the goals of this project is to remove what's accumulated, but we're also deepening the cells to increase the treatment capacity of the facility so that it does a better job of treating more water. When it rains 1 inch, about 6 million gallons of water accumulates in this facility, and it stays here for about 48 hours and lets the pollutants and sediment and other items in the water settle out into the facility.
We're standing at the Princeton outfall in the Upper Watts Branch Park, and what's going on in this channel is that the runoff from the street enters the channel at this location here, and the water is naturally trying to work its way down to the stream. So nature is trying to force this channel down to the same height as the stream below us. So all the cutting that's occurring is actually occurring from the stream up to the structure, and the longer we leave this channel unstabilized, the further cut you will see, and the deeper that this section of the channel will become. So it's just kind of chewing away, and our plan is to put some stabilization, some rock in these channels to prevent any chewing of the debris and any further movement of sediment.
Well, this is the Dogwood tributary, which basically runs from Monroe Street to Cabin John Parkway. The tributary ties into the main stem of Cabin John Creek. The stream has a high degree of bank erosion. This is a sanitary sewer crossing that crosses beneath the tributary. Over time, the stream starts to downcut, which leaves the pipe exposed in the stream. And approximately 3 or 4 years ago, we had a failure of this sewer pipe, which means that the pipe actually broke and wastewater spilled into the tributary. So in addition to protecting public infrastructure, the sewer lines, the storm drain lines, we also have a priority to protect private property. So in order to protect people's property and the HOA property, we're going to ensure that the stream no longer erodes and keep those banks stable.
And don't think you're alone in footing the bill for these upgrades. The city is always on the lookout for more money in the form of grants to help pay the cost to keep Rockville waterways clean.
And we've been lucky enough to leverage the stormwater utility fee in the cases of all 3 of these projects with state funding. So the Department of Natural Resources has awarded us grant funding. So all of these projects, over 50% of the cost is grant funded. So we're very appreciative for the state and their funding, and it's going to help really make these projects better and help us do more projects with the funding that we have here in Rockville.
To find out more about these and other ways the city works to keep its environment healthy and safe, go to our website at rockvillemd.gov/environment. For Rock 11 Now, I'm Tony Playa.
And while the city is doing work to restore our stormwater system, some local artists are using their talents to bring awareness to the importance of healthy water streams. As part of the Storm Drain Mural Project, 5 local artists were chosen to use their talents to help educate the public about the impact that our actions have on local waterways and the Chesapeake Bay. Rock 11 Now's Jacob McLernan went on the Storm Drain Mural Tour to see all this unique art up close and personal.
This tour is kind of a culmination of our storm drain mural project. We worked for the past, year or so to recruit local artists to paint murals on our storm drains to try to communicate a connection between our storm drains and our streams, and how what we do in our own backyards and what we do on our streets and the pollution that enters in there, for the most part, is not filtered and ends up in our streams.
When I discovered about this project, I got real excited about it and definitely wanted to be a part of it.
These look like really wonderful paintings. They don't look like they were packaged by anything. They really look personal and really heartfelt. So it's wonderful for me to see them.
So super grateful for this, because the message is more important to me, more than the idea of just displaying it. This is not about me, this is about the message for clean environment, which I'm passionate about.
I wanted to show some of the native plants, like the white oak tree as well as black-eyed Susans, and how we can help prevent storm drain runoff by planting native plants.
I hope it can just provide them a reminder for them to just take a split-second decision and to pick up anything that they might see on the streets.
So these are the only 5 we currently have, but if there's more interest, we're hoping to get some schools involved and some other projects like that.
Still to come on Rock 11 Now, Metro's rail repair hits the red line. Find out how Rockville and the county are helping you get to where you need to go. Plus, this summer is a hot one, and while the temperatures keep creeping up until the triple digits, you can find out where you need to go in Rockville to cool down. And there's a new way to get Rockville news and information. We'll tell you about it right after this message about the Rockville's Farmers Market.
Buying locally, you get a lot fresher fruit, and also you actually know where it came from and who handled your fruit, and food safety is a big issue in some things. And we just enjoy doing what we're doing, getting up, and you actually see what you've done, and you're serving the public with good fresh fruit. Farmers markets, you also meet different people from different areas and different cultures, and that way you can bring the fresh fruit right to them, and they can enjoy the same thing we can here at home.
Welcome back to Rock 11 Now. Metro's Safetrack plan has reached the red line, so your commute may be a little bit more challenging. During Safetrack Surge number 7, there will be single tracking between the Shady Grove and Twinbrook Metro stations from August 9th through the 18th. That means you can expect trains to stop at Shady Grove and Rockville stations every 18 minutes versus the typical 6 minutes. To help you get to your destination, Ride On is providing free shuttle bus service. To find out the routes, head over to montgomerycountymd.gov/.transit. And you can always know more before you go by signing up for Metro Alerts at WMATA.com/Metro Alerts. And to find out even more about Metro Safetrack, just head over to WMATA.com/Metro Safetrack. It's been a very hot summer, and Rockville wants to make sure you have a place to go to get out of the heat. The city has designated 4 cooling centers for residents in need of a place to cool off. If you do decide to use one of those cooling centers, you may stay in designated public areas for free. But remember, there's a fee to use those other amenities like fitness rooms and computer labs. Those 4 cooling center locations are on your screen. The centers are the Lincoln Park Community Center on Frederick Avenue, the Rockville Senior Center on Carnation Drive, the Thomas Farm Community Center, and the Twinbrook Community Center. These facilities will be open as cooling centers when the temperature or heat index is above 95 degrees. The search for Rockville's next city manager continues. The city hired the Novak Consulting Group to oversee the process, and the first part consisted of 2 meetings to get feedback from the community.
We would like to see better communication between the directors and the programs and the city manager so that when we do have issues, people know what's going on.
We're probably looking for somebody who's open-minded, progressive in their thought processes on what the city needs in general, but more specifically for seniors, what the senior population needs in the city.
Remember, you can still give your input by contacting the city clerk, Kathleen Conway, by email at kconway@rockvillemd.gov. Rockville's premier source for news and information gets a new look and goes online. The city's official publication, Rockville Reports, has a new look and design. From bigger pictures to more graphics, make sure you pick up your copy today. Or you can get the latest news and information online now at rockvillereports.com. This online version is regularly updated throughout the month and will feature videos and links to the city's website. The Olympic Games may be in Rio de Janeiro this year, but we'll tell you about some tiny Olympians who got their shot at Olympic glory. Plus, a legendary Rockville swimming coach who's helped athletes reach Olympic gold says farewell. That's coming up next on Rock11 Now, right after this. Welcome back to Rock11 Now. The 2016 Olympics may be in Rio de Janeiro this year, but some tiny Olympians got their shot at Olympic glory right here in Rockville. Tiny Olympians is part of Parks and Rec Month and the countless activities offered during the summer.
We definitely make sure that we all team up together to follow the themes of the rec and parks. So we definitely thought about what we could do to enhance that in that area. So we came up with this program, and we have several other programs that definitely fall under that theme as well.
We knew that he wanted to have something fun to do over the summer. He's in preschool during the year, but of course over the summer he's not, and he gets a little bored and he get really excited to go to.
Some are even so excited that there's no words to describe it. If you could do Tiny Olympians again, would you do it again?
Yes.
How much fun did you have this week? A lot of fun, or just, a little bit of fun, or a lot?
A lot.
So keep your eye out, because you may see these Tiny Olympians going for the gold in the future. Are we going to see you in the Olympic Games maybe 12, 15 years from now?
Yes.
Okay,
what sport are you going to play?
Basketball and soccer and baseball.
To all of our Tiny Olympians,
Ni hao, wan ying, lai dao, Rockville. That's Mandarin for hello and welcome to Rockville. And that's exactly the type of warm greeting Chinese graduate students from the National University of Singapore received during their visit with Rockville City leaders. The students were in town to learn about the dynamics between local, state, and federal government.
At first, we didn't very familiar with the system that U.S. operate. When we come here, we know a lot about the county government and the city government.
Some students described our way of government with just one word: wow.
I think this city is very, very wild, and especially environmental, and your population and your people. Especially your maybe leader of the city.
This is a very different system of local governance in the United States. Very different from that back in China or in Taiwan. So it's fascinating. I think they know a lot.
The city hopes that meetings like these lead to an expansion of the Sister Cities program and further partnerships with other municipalities around the world.
We currently have a friendship relationship with Jiaxing, China. I would love that to become a formal sister city relationship, and for us to explore other opportunities with other cities in Asia.
Learning the history of Rockville just got a bit easier. You can take a virtual tour of historic sites just by using your smartphone.
The virtual tour for the African American Heritage Walking Tour is accessible online through an interactive map. You can access it through phones, tablets, any computer that's connected to the internet.
The virtual tour was created to help residents discover the city of Rockville's historic and cultural roots.
We look at the city of Rockville as a hub of black education. There was blacks who, during the early part of segregation, actually came together to buy land and to build our schools.
And you can get an inside look at that black hub of education with your devices. You can experience Rockville's African American history through pictures, maps, and historical documents.
They hit upon all the sites that was in Rockville. It's important that story be told and not be lost.
And that's just one tour. The city has another historic experience for you to try.
In addition to the African American Heritage Walking Tour, we also created an interactive walking tour for the Explore Rockville or Lost Rockville walking tours, which also have plaques throughout downtown. We've actually added stickers to each plaque, which allows someone to take a picture of a QR code using an app on any phone or typing in the web address that's listed on the sticker as well.
So far, these virtual tours have been accessed about 800 times since May. To experience the virtual tour and much more, head over to rockvillemd.gov/African American History Tour or /Historic Rockville Tour. If you didn't have a chance to catch Rockville's annual Independence Day celebration, we have a video that you won't want to miss. Rockville's Communications Division gets a new name and some new team members. We'll introduce you to the new Peace Corps when we take Rockville Roll Call. It's all on the way, but first, check out this video about the Rockville's Farmers Market.
I'll just try to look at the freshness, the color of your fruit, and your color of your peaches and apples. These peaches here are Red Haven peaches. This is what they call the Freestone peaches. We're just starting to pick these, and you get nice color when like this. This is how we want to pick them. Peaches, you don't want them too firm. You want them just starting to get a little give to them and good color, and that they're going to be ripe and ready to eat. You can do whatever with this. When I say Freestone, I mean when you cut it and open it up, you can just take the pit right out of it. And when you're buying vegetables, whether it's nice and green and fresh looking.
In Maryland, everybody loves their corn. When you're shopping for corn, what should you be looking for?
You can grab it at the top of it here and make sure it's filled out. Now this in here could go just a little bit longer, but then you get to another ear here that's filled out a lot better. Just kind of grip the top and you can tell whether it's ready or not. And kind of look for the greenness for nice and fresh.
Welcome back to Rock11 Now. The rain didn't stop Rockville's Independence Day celebration in King Farm last month. But for those of you who missed it, check out Rock11 Now's Jacob McLernan's video recap of the festivities.
Happy 4th!
Looking for the perfect place to tie the knot? Then look no further than Rockville's Glenview Mansion. Last month, the mansion was the place for the very first Summer Wedding Expo. It was a chance for couples to get some great ideas and to plan the perfect wedding day.
I think the most important thing is you have to love each other. That's the most important thing, and save a lot because it's expensive and it takes a lot of work.
And this is a great opportunity for couples to come into the venue and look at it, and also look at it with all sorts of different vendors.
And we're here just to show all the wonderful brides and grooms, all of our wonderful services throughout the Maryland, D.C. area.
And if you missed this summer's Wedding Expo, don't worry, because another one is already in the works for January of 2017. To check out Glenview's wedding Pinterest board and to learn how to book your special day, just head over to rockvillemd.gov/Glenview. And don't worry if you missed our 4th of July celebration, because you can plan ahead and save the date for the first beer and wine experience called Rocktober Beer Fest. The city is partnering with the Maryland Beer and Wine Association on Saturday, September 24th to showcase almost 30 of Maryland's best wineries and breweries. The event will be from noon until 5 in Rockville Town Center. There'll be much more information to come, so stay tuned. Jim Williams, who is a staple of the Rockville swim community, is retiring after nearly 50 years of coaching athletes at the Rockville Swim Center. Rock11 Now's Tony Playa has more.
My name is Jim Williams. I'm a coach here at the Rockville Swim Center.
Jim's been with us for over 48 years as the swim coach of the Rockville Montgomery Swim Club program. The dedication that takes, not only for the longevity of time, but the commitment and investment in each individual he touched is really something that should be recognized and noticed amongst the community.
I love the challenge of working with motivated people and seeing them improve and seeing them get to the levels that they want to. And it's exciting for me to see that, and it's stimulating, and I found it stimulating for close to 50 years, and I still find it stimulating. I think the interpersonal relationships that you have with the other coaches and with the swimmers, that's going to be tough to let go of. It's the kind of thing that keeps getting you up in the morning and keeping you going and making it all seem worthwhile.
Before we had the facilities we have today, when we were one pool in an outdoor environment, to the indoor pool opening in late 1968, to the modern facilities in 2016, Jim's been here since the beginning.
I believe that everything is in cycles, and I am starting a new cycle in my life, but I sure would like everybody that's ever been a part and touched by my life, I would like them to keep in touch with me, because I enjoy all those interactions. I appreciate it.
And now's the time for Rockville Roll Call, a segment where we give you an exclusive look at the people that you can count on to make the city of Rockville a great place to live.
We've made some changes in the Rockville City Manager's Department. We've combined our Neighborhood Resources Office with our Public Information Office to create the Public Involvement and Communication and Engagement Department. We're sort of jokingly referring to it as the Peace Corps. Easy to remember. Anyway, it's going to be a fantastic change. What it'll mean is that all of our communication channels will have an engagement effort attached to them, and all engagement efforts will also have the full force of the communication office behind them. I've worked in Rockville for over 10 years now, and I've been very blessed to work with some of the best folks in the industry. But I will tell you that this team, the Peace Corps, is absolutely the best one I've ever been on. I'm so grateful to be a part of it, and so thrilled to be able to work with these folks, and I think you're going to see some positive changes. The Mayor and Council have set as a goal for the city to improve and increase our diversity outreach. So that's the very first thing that we're going to be working on. And we already do have one success in that area. We've launched Rockville Reports online. So what this means is that now Rockville Reports can be translated into over 70 languages and easily shared. Articles can be sent via social media or email right away, which means that more people in more languages can get the news of the city every day. So we have made the commitment through our public information and engagement efforts to ensure that folks have lots of opportunities to find out what's happening in their community. And of course, we always want feedback. We can't do our jobs without it. If you ever have a great story idea or you just want to drop us a line, please do.
And that's going to do it for this month's edition of Rock11 Now. You can count on us for all the latest news and happenings right here in Rockville. And to keep up with Rock 11, subscribe to our City of Rockville YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Rockville11, on Instagram at RockvilleMD, and like us on Facebook. Again, thanks for joining us. I'm Willie James Inman, and for the entire Rock 11 News team, until next time.